We're back.
Yeah, we're back. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday.
Yeah. Happy
Yeah.
Friday, everybody.
Mm-hmm. In the words of Ice Cube,
Uh,
today was a good day.
yeah. Wait, it sure was. It was a
Yeah,
heck of
y'all
a
just
good
don't
day
know.
today.
It was a real good day.
Yep.
We'll get to that later.
Yep. Heck of a good day.
Mm-hmm. So what's good out there? What icebreaker you want to do? I know we've been talking about the Clintons.
I'm gonna tell you, Bill Clinton, something else. I was sitting up there at work looking at him, and I was just laughing,
Yeah.
cause I mean, he had the Monica Lewinsky scandal,
Yup.
then this scandal, but it don't matter. But it won't. I don't think that him smiling. I don't think it was funny. I don't know if he was trying to be cute or what, but it wasn't funny with him sitting up there and he's being cross-examined. He was a kind of like iffy about
Mm-hmm.
answering any questions.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
it was an email. Someone saying that somebody was long and hung and all this stuff. He was laughing at it and with some sexual stuff. I was like, okay,
yeah, when they mentioned, do you like young girls? He said, no, young women. And he
yeah.
said, who mentioned young girls? She said, I didn't say young girls. He said, either way, no, I don't. He said, either way, no, I don't.
It's funny how he was saying that he didn't know Jeffrey Epstein, but at the same time, that dude been in the White House 17 times when he was president.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton has rolled his plane 26 times. They're doing business together, but you don't know him like that. Come on now.
Plus, was he at his daughter's wedding?
No, the Ghislaine Maxwell, she was at the wedding because it was somebody that they knew and she was there plus one, whatever. But her nephew worked
Mm-hmm.
with Hillary Clinton on one of her campaigns or something. But she said she didn't know that was her nephew.
Boy, I
Nobody
don't know about
knows
these people.
nothing. Nobody don't know nobody or
Yeah, of
nothing.
course.
But at the same time, they're always in the close proximity of one another. They all at these events and stuff, but nobody don't know nobody.
Yeah, I don't know nothing.
I don't
Like
know
Bill
nothing.
Gates, sitting up there, he's supposed to be ready to testify. I heard in the next week, and so same thing for him. He didn't know anything. Everybody that's in these high-powered positions, these political parties, and they got these big old mansions. Some of them got plantation homes,
Yeah,
you know, and they got fat bank fat bank accounts, designer clothes, and cars, and all that stuff. That's all they worried about. That's what they worried about. What they're gonna lose to the victims.
hmm
No one is saying that they're sorry for what happened to the victims. No one is saying that it's a possibility that could have happened, but I wasn't involved. It's just everybody saying I don't know,
yeah.
and that's it. And
Nobody
then when
knows
they
nothing.
mention, yeah, somebody mentioned, I think on CNN News, this anchor, she mentioned that all these powerful people, and when they make the statement, big bosses, powerful people, they got a bunch of money. Hey, we all equal in the eyes of God. And when we all
Yeah,
agree to go back to our maker, it ain't gonna be no big boss. God is the big boss. It ain't gonna be no, oh, I'm powerful because I got this. No, God is all powerful. Even now, here on earth, these people ain't powerful. They're not
yeah,
powerful. They cowards. That's what they are. Because they think that they can live a lifestyle where they get to have their cake and eat it too. I'm gonna have all
yeah.
the riches and all the fortunes and homes and cars and money that I want, but I'm gonna
But
violate people
but
and
it's
try to
like
figure out how I can get away with it.
but it's like this life is but a vapor.
Exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's like, hey, can't take it with you, you know?
Yeah, you can.
Like you said, hey, you may be in a high position right now, whatever, but hey, God's the big boss, like you said, you know?
Only one.
Yeah,
It's only one big boss.
yeah.
Yep.
There's another story out there. This 12-year-old, 13-year-old, and 15-year-old, they raped this 12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
I heard they was charging them as adults. I sent you the clip.
Hmm.
Probably didn't get a chance to look at it, but it's crazy. I was
Yep.
listening to it. I was like, this is wild.
When you mention it to me, I'm like, how do these kids think up this stuff to
Yeah.
do this stuff? You
And
know?
and and they to
What do
stop
you
her from screaming, they put rocks in her mouth.
in their mouth? Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you right. Yep. That's terrible.
It is.
That's terrible. Terrible.
Man, I tell
Where's the
you, man.
parents at?
Well, I think she was coming out of her a friend's home, whatever, and one of the boys spotted her and he grabbed her. Her father, I think, was in the area. I think she lived somewhere in the area in this
Hmm.
apartment complex, whatever. And her father was calling for her, and that's when they tried to make her be quiet, but then they got up and ran, whatever. But anyway, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then I heard another story. I think it happened in Hacienda Heights. Um, right here in California. I heard this story at the beginning of the week that there was a 12-year-old
Hmm.
that was bullying this other 12-year-old girl, and they had been doing it. It was boys. They had
Hmm.
been doing it for a while, and it was a few girls too, but they would like holler names and all that. And he took, the water metal bottles that you put your water in.
Hmm.
Uh, I got a few of those, and they hold ice really good, cold water. But they're banning those bottles from school out here in California because the little boy, the 12-year-old, took the bottle, he threw it at the back of the little girl's head,
Hmm.
and it hit her hippocampus in the back of the head.
Mm.
And when it did that, she went home complaining about headaches. And so her parents took her to the emergency room and they did a CT scan and a CAT scan. And the doctor said, no, she probably just having a headache from being hit from the impact of it. They took her back home. She continued to have headaches. They gave her Tylenol. That didn't stop. So when they took her back the second time, it landed her in the hospital. So
Mm.
she went into a coma and didn't wake up. Stayed on life support, I think, for about 3-4 days and passed. And I was like, are these kids aware of at this age what they're doing to each other? And do they have prevention programs in school where they're actually sitting? Because it's one thing to say that, oh, he's a bully and you handle bullies this way, but what are you doing to prevent it? Do you have prevention programs in school that you actually have children attend where they sit down and they learn that you don't mistreat somebody because somebody skin color is different or because somebody got more money than somebody, you got this level,
Mm.
your statue is here and somebody else's is there, you know, or a child is more quiet than another child. Do they teach these kids about this stuff in school? You know, because I'm
That's
saying
wild. If
that
that's
the throw something at the back of somebody's head to the point that you cause some brain damage to their head and cause them the hemorrhage and they die. That's serious. And like I said again, where's the parents at?
wow.
And I know some of us, you know, I can relate to it, and I know you can too, because a lot of us we was bullied in school. But guess what?
Mm-hmm.
We ignored it. We got ran home from school from
Or
having,
either, if you get joked, you joke back. You know what I'm saying? That's what you
yeah,
do. You keep, hey,
yeah.
that's what you
But
do.
I'm just saying some kids are just quiet
Yeah.
and they don't speak back. It causes a lot of damage when you do stuff like that to people. I mean, kids doing it to kids, and they didn't learn it at school. A lot of parents like to get away with it and say they learned it at school. No, they learned it at home. That's where they learn everything from.
Yeah, or watching TV or too many movies or violent video games and all types of stuff.
Too much Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Hey, I watched that. I play that game. I
Yeah,
haven't played in a long time, but yeah. But oh man, I tell you. So
yeah.
what we got? So what's up for today? This is
Okay,
part
what's
two.
up today? Everybody that's tuning in tonight is part two of where we
Mm.
left off at
Yeah,
last
part two. A
Friday.
day in life of Laura and Musa. Yep.
Yes.
Because we had a lot
Hmm.
of notes we didn't get to last week. We had a
Yeah,
lot of
we
notes we
did.
didn't get to. It was very interesting.
Yeah, we did. So I'm getting to it right now. Let's go back to our fact sheet.
All right.
Okay, I'm almost there. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we landing at fact number 7.
We doing seven or we doing? I thought it was at one. Did we do one already?
No, no, no. We did one.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right.
Actually, we had fact number. Wait a minute. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did that. We had fact number 7.
Yeah, you're right. Because you talked about the swimming pool and her manipulating stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So many notes, y'all. So many notes.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to fact number 7. So, Musa was a very troubled person who we all can't figure out and probably never will. Musa and Laura together was hot tempered. The both of them had problematic behaviors, and they both crossed boundaries when it came to all of us. Were being disrespectful, and that including our mother into things they was changing around in the home. The both of
Hmm.
them was the dominator, the dominators in the home. They helped. They both was like potentates. That's the title I gave them. Controllers, where they
Yeah.
ruled all of us in the house. Fact number 8: Laura was a dominatrix, and when she said she feared Dad on that Dr. Phil show, when Dr. Phil asked her, "Did you
Yeah.
become a Confederate to this stuff?" and she said what
Hmm.
she got caught up in was fear. There was no fear.
It's
No,
it's how she like. I went over though that video and like you said to me, when she said, yeah, I got caught up in fear, Dr. Phil. Like, come on, she did not fear Dad whatsoever.
it was no fear. It was no fear at all. No fear. And when she said she got caught up in fear, that's a lie.
Mm, mm, mm.
Uh,
Cause she told Charles White she was a gangster.
yeah, and that she was bucking at him,
She was bucking.
and that she was
So,
gonna take, and she was planning on taking him out.
Yeah, that's right. She said
Yeah.
that. Said
That
she was
she was
gonna take
planning
him
on
out.
taking him out. She said, she told Charles White, I was planning on taking him out, but I didn't know how, and I didn't know what the consequences was going to be.
Yeah. She also said that on that other show too with them two ladies.
Yeah.
She said that up there too on their podcast.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I can't think of the
Yeah,
name
when
of
I
the
can't think
podcast.
of the name when she was like helicopters was everywhere and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. I can't
I
think of
can't
the
think
name of
of either. I had
that
a clip,
podcast.
but I don't know which clip because I clipped like three of them. She was saying some
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
So there was no fear.
Nah.
If anything, she needed validation in the
Mm-hmm.
home. She was a big old attention seeker.
Yeah.
That's the thing. She
Cutting on
needed
the
all the
gas like we
attention.
mentioned, you know.
Yeah, all of that. Big old attention. That was to get his attention, doing bad things.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of that's how she behaved. Is I do something bad to get his attention. And guess what? He was doing the same thing. So we already mentioned that about Charles White.
Yeah.
But coming from my perspective, I saw no fear, no evidence of abuse. The way she has assembled it, I saw her being a controlling person who wanted things her way all the time, and she got things her way all the time. That's what I saw. I know fact 9 that we about to speak about. I know at some point, I think it was sometime last year, we all got off into skin tone.
Skin tone, stuff like that,
Yeah.
because
So here is an example of, because we didn't speak about this, but here is an example of what Lord called Musa. And she caused him to cry. That was the first time I ever saw any tears in his eyes, you know.
so
But
but she was fearful of him though, right?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
won't fearful to call him up, call him names.
Yeah.
And this came from her and Adrian because they joked about his skin tone a lot. But he came running out of her room crying, crying to mom, and told mom that Lord told him to get his black crusty ass out of her room.
Mm.
And I was like, what? All those out of all things that came running, crying. I'm like, wow.
Like mom was his mom.
Yeah, like a 5-year-old crying to mom like mom was his mother.
Hmm.
And so he was upset because he said her that she called him darkness. I was like, wow. Wow, unbelievable.
But Laura, she claimed to be this victim. She was locked
He
up and
afraid to
all this
call him.
stuff.
Let one of us call him a name,
Oh, that'd
and
have been it.
he'll declare World War III.
Mm.
So I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. And fact 10, when she talked about how she was prepping food for us in that movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, she never prepped any food for us because in our home we was told not to eat anything from her because she had mentioned the dad when she made some food that she was trying to serve to him. He said, no, my wife is gonna make my plate. And she said, what's the matter? You afraid I poison you?
Because
You afraid there's some
didn't you say
poison in it?
one time he had stopped because he had got sick one time, he ate something of hers, right?
Yeah.
She tried to poison him. She most definitely did.
Yep. He got really sick. I mean, like for 2 days, he was sick. I was like, wow. And that's when he told mom, he said, I think she poisoned me. That's why he told none of us don't take no food from her. So it would be impossible. The stuff that she made up. You hear
Hannah
Hannah
is back
laughing.
there
He
cracking
back
up.
there laughing.
Oh
So
man.
Yeah, this is comedy time for him. So, you know, for us to eat anything from her,
Yeah.
we all of us probably would have been in the same predicament. So I'm just like eating from her? No,
Mm.
none of us. Mm-mm, no. And a few times she did want to make dinner for us, but dad never allowed it because he told mom the lady was trying to kill his kids.
But he up there beating everybody violently. But both of them, both of them
The thing I don't
crazy.
get about them is that why was they allowed to harm and do things to us, but
Hmm.
then somebody outside the family that would do things to us, they didn't care. They
Yeah.
didn't care.
Yeah.
So I'm just like that right there. I'm like, you didn't care anyways. Even if she did try to do that, you wouldn't have cared.
Hmm.
Because when kids was telling you things that people that you invited over to our house and people that you allowed to be up under us around the property, knowing that we was minor children, they didn't care. So I don't know why, you know, you cared about that. And then fact 11, the name calling that Laura inflicted on us was out of control. It was a power she had emotionally abusing all of us in the home by calling us things. And this stuff can be seen online because she referred to all of
Yeah.
us as
I
things.
cut one of those things that she.
Yep. She referred to all of us as things, shortcutted freaks, or mutts, like we was dogs. She even called her son names, doofus or piss pod. You ready, Rick?
Yeah. I think we had a little technical issue for a minute.
Yeah, we did. That's okay.
Yeah.
We're
It's
gonna
all
keep
good though. Just
rolling.
keep rolling. You keep
Yep.
rolling. Yeah, but yeah, I saw she called y'all everything
Yeah.
in your diary, shortcut freaks. I know you got a lot of stuff in your
A whole
diary.
bunch of stuff.
And like I said, we got to do that diary though. We really have to.
Yeah. We will. We will. Um, switching from that, going to fact 11, there was lewd acts done in front of us, as most of our siblings have discussed on this channel, of their sexual perversions in front of us in the van traveling to another state, um, having sex in me and my siblings' closet in our bedroom, our sister's room, sticking their hands in his pants in front of us. See, this stuff was done so we could see it, Rick.
Yeah.
That's why all of that stuff was being done. It was to bring attention to all of us, you know.
Hmm.
That's what it was. You had no respect for none of us. Like Marcus said, their relationship was consensual because they had too many sexual encounters in front of all of us. Too many.
Yeah, that's why y'all was shocked on the Dr. Phil show the first time ever. She talking about
Yeah.
she was raped. This is why y'all was
That
so shocked.
that was the big one right there. I'm gonna just have
Yeah.
to tell you, even hearing that, that was like when she said it, I got like the chills, and I looked over at Sharon. Sharon was just
Mm.
shaking her head, and then when she got the saying that we don't know because we wasn't in that room. Yes, we do know.
Did we talk about they were having sex in the kitchen?
Yeah, we're getting to that one.
Oh, y'all gonna say that. I'll wait. I'll
Yeah,
wait.
but when she said to Mike, she said that you don't know what happened in that room. Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing to say that, oh, yeah, that happened behind closed doors when you're doing
Hmm.
everything you can in front of everybody. And then you forgetting our room was directly beside your room. Me and our sisters, and then our brother's room was on the other side. So we heard, a lot of things. And I'm saying when you're doing that, like Marcus said, it was consensual. You're doing that in front of all of us.
But on Dr. Phil's show, she tried to say, well, we were in different areas, as if
That's not true.
everybody was
That
far
ain't true.
apart. Yeah,
That's not true. That's not
yeah.
true at all.
And plus, I seen the home. You showed me the home when y'all went up there.
Yeah. It wasn't,
So
no, she had like we lived in a big old warehouse, and
yeah,
she had like that
or
she
some
lived
big
like
compound. She was
she
way
had like
somewhere
she lived
else.
like 5 floors above us
Yeah.
or below us. That's what and it wasn't like that at all. At all. Fact 12. First I'm gonna get into where um they got busted one night having sex in the kitchen
And you told me
by some
about
of
that. I
our
was like,
siblings,
yo.
and everybody got ran in the room and got in trouble. And he told mom she had to kind of said, and he told mom that she had to go clean the kitchen up because Laura desecrated the kitchen.
Mm.
I said, what in the what desecrated? I said, this is crazy. I said, what type of word is this? Desecrated the kitchen. I said, oh boy, that's too much right there.
But I just find it that for her to say that dad raped her and let her, Taslima believe this. You do this to your own daughter. That's crazy. But I'm not surprised how she is. And
I
maybe
know.
Taslima knows that she wasn't actually raped. She's just going along with the story.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I told her on that show. I've made it clear in comments that I've made on false fabricated interviews and articles that she's done. Sharon has told her, and just being really honest, she needs to come clean. She really do. She needs to come clean, and she needs to tell her daughter the truth. I'm not saying that's going to change anything, because
yeah.
for so long she's been brainwashing her, for so long. She's been doing that. But like I said, everybody got to meet their maker one day. And I'm saying, she needs to think about that. She needs to seriously think about that, which I know she's probably already thought about it. That's why she lied. But the thing is, just to tell her child something like that, just tell your kid the truth. Just tell your kid you was having an illicit affair with a married man, and you was married and you had a kid with him. Just tell her the truth. That's all you got to do, because all of us know, we know the truth, and nobody's going to stop speaking about it. I don't care how many times she
And some other
says,
look. Some other people know the truth too. The conversation we had today. Is the reason why I said it was a
oh
good day.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah,
But it's gonna be,
yeah,
we're gonna get to that, but that'll be next.
yeah,
I'm so hyped up. That's why I want to talk about. I can't, but
yeah, I
we're
know.
gonna get to it.
Now that was crazy today.
Yeah,
That was just crazy. All the baloney she been feeding everybody.
yeah.
Yeah. All the baloney she been feeding everybody. All these networks. And like you said, the Lifetime movie is trash.
It is trash. Like I
It was
said,
only done to bring attention to a story that she fabricated, and it was done so that it could push the audience in to
hmm
believe in, he did all of this stuff to her, and poor little old me. Because like I said, I still can't get over seeing the movie, and when you're watching the movie, she said it herself too, you know that, right?
yeah.
She said that Lifetime did not do a good job on that movie.
Yeah, she
She
sure did.
said it. And when we talk about it, we come in with facts. She said it November 7th in that auditorium to Tracy
She
Potts.
pots. Yep.
She said, do you know that they didn't make that movie right? She said, I don't know why they put all that stuff in there. You told them that. That's why they put it in there. You said you were so proud that you had credit. She said, "Oh," she
And
said,
they gave me
"Yes."
credits.
She said, "Yes. They made me a producer, and I have a little credit. They made me a producer." She think that stuff is cute. It ain't nothing cute about that.
Nah,
To
it's not.
a trashy movie that you can't even watch it. You got to pay for it because they didn't recoup the money that they thought they was going to get from it.
I'm gonna be for real, probably because we've been out here for a whole year
Yeah,
saying it's not real.
yeah.
What was really, what really went on in the home.
I've received some calls, and we've talked about that. I've received
Yeah.
some calls, but the thing about me is like I'm like I'm like well, we're like who was that? Damon Wayans.
Mm.
Remember what he said? Before I sell out, I gets the hell out. And I ain't about to sell out.
Yeah,
Okay.
because yeah,
I'm
you
not
did get
about to sell myself out or my family out. Okay. I'm not about to do that. You're not going to use us. You're not going to use us. When we speak, we'll speak on our own behalf. And we don't need no spokesperson to do it because all of us, we know how to speak really well.
and you don't
You
need
know?
anyone because you was in the home, you lived it.
Yeah. And it took some time because all of us had to gather. We, look, first of all, we was children when this stuff happened. We was and young teenagers. We had to get our lives together, all of us. We didn't have the type of manpower that people think that we had. And I'm gonna mention this one thing when I met with the district attorney today is that this was the first person that actually spoke to me like it was almost like a mother figure with me and Hannah sitting in that office. The way she spoke to me and the words, I'm not going to tell it all right now,
Hmm.
but it was something that she said to me that hit home to me. She said that you and your siblings are the heroes in this case. And nobody has a right saying, why didn't you say something? She said, who
Yeah.
said that? I said, Richard Zerko said it. She said, he said that? I said, he was on Dr. Phil. You can look on YouTube and look at the full episode, which reminds me right now to tell everyone that's viewing, our videos and coming to this channel, go look at the Dr. Phil show right
Yeah.
here on YouTube. Full episode, 47 minutes. Watch it. And she said, wow. She said, he said that? I was like, yeah, he said that all of us was militant. We was militarized. There was girls on one side, boys on
Boys
one
and us.
side. He said that when he asked us a question, that we used one word, yes or no. And most of the time we said no. And that we would not speak to him. And he asked us, why didn't we get help? Why would you ask some kids
That were
why didn't they
abused
get help?
like that.
Yeah. Why would you ask some kids that? Why didn't they get help? A lot of stuff that he spoke about on that show, when he mentioned militarized, when he mentioned militant, none of us showed any signs at all. We didn't show any anger at all. None of us was upset. When the anger came, it came after the fact, the way he treated all of us.
Yeah, cussed y'all out.
He used profanity
Hmm.
on Keisha, me, Tiffany, Sharon, and Marlon. He called us MFers. He told us get our a-holes back to the hotel. They put us in a drug infested hotel, and when we wanted to leave, they thought he thought he possessed power over us, like we didn't have no rights at all. Little do he know, well, I know he know this. He was just like our father, treating us just like our father was doing, using profanity on us, you know, trying to
Intimidating
make us,
everyone.
yeah, scaring us, trying to make us fearful so that he could possess control over us and make us stay in one place in a room so that that way, when I need you to speak, I can interrogate you some more. They interrogated us that day for 16, 17 hours. That was the longest day ever in my life. And I never forget it. Longest day.
Mm.
Just sit there, interrogate you, ask you questions over and over and over again. I'm like, at some point when he left out, I was telling Keisha Tiffany, I was like, I don't know why he keeps asking us the same questions. Nobody's gonna say anything. You're a stranger to us. We knew help was there and all that, and we was glad to be out the home, but you're a stranger to us. And then when you come at people mean, that's what we was met with. Now there was some people we was able to speak to, like one of the DAs in the case.
Hmm.
We was able to speak to her. We was able to speak to two of the advocates that was in the case. Know why? Because they spoke to us in a certain way. This dude just met us with a bunch of hostility,
Mm.
you know? And the thing about it is that everybody experienced it without us even knowing that everybody experienced that. You experienced it.
Yeah, when he came to Virginia, how he was talking to me, I was like, why is he talking like that?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
experienced. Yeah, when you were
Hmm.
speaking about that, I was like, "What? You
Hmm.
experienced it?" Then I look when Mike was on the show. He experienced it. Marcus experienced it. The way he talked to him on the phone. Me, Sharon, Keisha, Tiffany, and Marlon, we was in the same position. And then to hear Mike and the other younger siblings talking about he put them in the room and interrogated them, and then was talking about how Mike Mike was violent. I was like, yeah, he was getting his anger out because the way he was speaking to him. He was exercising his rights. That's what he was doing, you know?
Yeah. So, when I, like I said, I talked with Mike, he was telling me how he was interrogated, and then later down the line, Marcus was saying stuff. Then you was telling me. So it's not like at one time, this was separate times over the years that y'all would tell me this, and it's like we all experienced the same thing. So I knew right then and there that, hey, this was the truth because it happened to me. So
Yeah, and you're right about that during separate times because
yeah,
I didn't know he did that to you until just last year.
yeah, because I was telling you about my
Yeah,
experience, how he was like
yeah,
cunning and all like kind of slick
yeah,
talking to me and stuff. Like I couldn't understand. Like you're here to ask me some questions about my past a little, what I can't tell you, but why are you like in the negative way talking to me
yeah, yeah,
as if it was my fault? That's what it felt like.
yeah. And then you listen to Mike saying how he put him in an interrogation room. And when Mike mentioned he could see the light, because we saw it too. Remember, I was telling you,
Yeah.
when they put us in the room, we saw the big glass. We knew when they turned off the lights, somebody was back there recording us.
What I can't understand is like y'all will abuse children and just coming out of that situation, and they put you in the interrogation room. There's no counselor, nobody with y'all, and he's like pressuring you. That's weird.
But wait till I tell you this one, because this one just came up. When I was at the district attorney's office today, we brought up the Turpin kids.
Yeah.
That district attorney mentioned to me and Hannah. She said they went through some stuff similar like we did too, the
Hmm.
aftermath. So it wasn't shocking to them, the stuff that I was telling them that they did. See, they went and they didn't have a reason to mistreat us at all. They went based off of what she wrote in that letter about all of us. She told people that we was
Mm.
hostile and that we had a lot of anger and all of that. And she told them that we had anger towards her, but she failed to mention the things that she did to all of us in that home. That's what she failed, and that's what I was talking to Dee about. Said, well, she failed to mention what she did in the home, and she wasn't honest, and she still hasn't been honest with the public
and I
about
know,
certain stuff.
and I know we don't want to tell everything that we got, but could you? If I want, could you mention about what they said about Laura? Just a little tad piece about her being charged and not being charged. How that went?
She got immunity. So we got a lot of questions that we asked, probably 80 something questions, and a lot of stuff they was able to answer, a lot of stuff they wasn't able to answer. But she was going to be charged as well.
Mm.
And most of the stuff that I wrote on the paper for them to answer, like that district attorney said, I don't have to answer all of this stuff for you because you guys lived in the home and you know all the answers to this. There's some people that I'm not for sure because there's some other legal things that's going on, but there's some people that she's lied on.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
There is a person that she lied on. There's a person that she lied on, and I don't know how she obtained, because an investigation has been done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how she obtained records of all. I don't know how she obtained all of our medical records, because that's a violation. I don't know how she got pictures of all of us. I don't know how she got all of our names and our ages, and they don't know either. The only thing they told us is that she did something illegal. She did something illegal, because if she's so smart, like the DA said, to make up all this stuff about Army tanks coming on properties, that there was a billboard with her picture on it, there was a missing report, and that people have been looking for her for years. And then she's lying about a lot of other stuff. And like I tell you, we lived in that home, and you better believe that when we say she did a certain thing, she did it, and it exists, and we do have facts. And since she's been out doing this self-advocate stuff that she claims to be an advocate, she has not once reached out to me and my siblings and told us she was sorry for the way she treated us in that home. What she does, she reaches out to us trying to gaslight all of us. Like I said last week, we're having a big house, swimming pools, a lot of food, because she knew what our mindsets was when we was kids, and she thought we still had that same mindset. So she figured, oh, I tricked them. You know what? I got a big old house, I got pool, and try to make us welcome. You're not trying to welcome us. What you was trying to do is trick all of us.
Yeah.
That's what you was doing, trying to trick us. So that way you can get what you wanted. But guess what? I thank God, like I told the DA today, and she said the same thing, that all of us is healthy, and we got our health, and we got good brains. Because half the stuff that I talked to her about, she said a lot of that stuff in that case that happened, and she said, I know some of your siblings. She said, because so much time done went by, they don't remember. But see, the thing about me, I document a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I'm really into that. And I do that because of that one uncle.
Yeah.
That said, keep a pad and a pen and document. And that's what I do. So I'm just saying to everybody, documenting stuff.
It's a good way to go. Yeah, it is.
I learned that way. Even if you got your phone and you got a calendar in your phone, you should go on your phone, type a note in it. That's what I do. And rely on that.
Yeah, so I know I got us off track because like I said, I was just so excited today when you called me, was telling me, because we've been trying to get certain things I want to talk about. But
That's just some
It's
of it.
yeah, it's just a sense of relief. You know what I mean? I just felt so excited today. It just, I'm
Like a
like,
weight was lifted, huh?
yeah, because we worked so hard for like a whole year and
Yeah,
some, and the research we put in, even though we knew the truth, it's just a simple fact. When you have
yeah,
people coming against you on social media, that's her friends and stuff attacking us, and it's like, yo, this is crazy. But
yeah,
to
and
finally
yeah,
get to a point where we got some stuff done, it just was like you said, it's a relief. It just felt like, it just felt good.
yeah. And to Tracy Potts and to her Cleveland family and people that support her, she was brought up in the conversation. She needs to stop lying and saying that she has court transcripts and stuff because she doesn't. And that was confirmed the day that she's going online. And this is the third time this was confirmed. She's going online and she's getting, these fabricated reports. And
Hmm.
she's going saying, "Oh, I got the transcripts," and she's reading it. We got the transcripts, okay? And what you was reading, that was not in it.
Nah, not
What you
whatsoever.
said verbatim, that's not how we spoke, and that was not in it. That was not in it. And so, like I said, this is a day to remember right here.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. We got God and ourselves to thank for this because we did this, for ourselves. We did this for our family, you know, and, you know, doors is starting to open up.
It's coming though, y'all. I'm telling y'all. I've
Yep.
been fighting for this letter and some of these things and some other stuff we've been fighting for.
Yep.
And we're gonna present it. I know I've been saying it for a while because I knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely, me and Crystal, we're gonna,
Yep.
yep,
We're gonna keep this going.
yeah, yeah. And I know I threw us off, like I said, I was so excited, but we can get back to, we need to get to, because we can go totally another direction.
We
But
can. We can.
yeah.
But so
But tell me how it was like during Ramadan, because I know you wanted to talk about that.
so the month of Ramadan. Wow. So let's get into that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Ramadan in our home was torture. Okay? Because the rules was if you didn't do what was right,
Hmm.
the punishment was you either get chastised, you had to stand in the corner, or either you missed a meal or two. And I'm not talking about a meal or two in just that day. I'm talking about like 2 days. And
Mm.
sometimes it went as far as a whole week. And it was very strict that specific month every year. He was very strict. Very strict. You had to be on top of all of your Islamic studies. You had to make sure that you was reading the Arabic right and writing it right and pronouncing it right. You had to make sure all prayers, 5 prayers was done. You screw up, you getting the punishment.
Mm.
You getting the punishment. And this was only inflicted on us kids in the house. That's what was inflicted on. So, like I said, that specific month, it was hard. It was tough. We all stood up in corners all day reciting Quranic verses. Starting with the Al Fatiha, which is the Islamic verse spoken in full Arabic language. And the shocking part is I can't even believe how fluent I still am in Arabic.
Yeah.
And so like I said, it started with the Al Fatiha. Well, the call to prayer. They had the Adhan. You had to do that first. And then you had wudu.
Mm-hmm.
So you wash up for prayer. So that's typically when we started Ramadan. You had to be up before the sunrise. Um, Once Dad finished calling the Dan or one of our brothers, everybody had to be in those prayer ranks to get started on prayer. If we prostrated wrong, or if we pronounced something wrong with our Arabic speaking of any verse while we was praying, he would make a remark under his voice. I'm gonna get your ass. I'm gonna get you. You better get it right now. Let's start over. And he was good at that, making you start over. And we would start over so many times to the point the sun was coming up. And he would say, well, you guys missed a meal. You messed me up and I can't fast today. And
I know you mentioned to me that during Ramadan he was like he was still eating. He'll come up with an
he didn't
excuse.
fast.
He didn't fast, like you
He didn't
said.
fast. I don't maybe some of our siblings do, but I'm saying personally me, I don't recall him fasting. I remember him during they so-called Muslim religion that they was following, and they had all of us following. I remember him telling us how to practice the religion and what to do, but he didn't follow it. That's what I remember. Him and Laura, they didn't follow it. Who was fasting? We was fasting. Mom and us kids was fasting. Laura didn't fast. She was running back and forth in the kitchen, drinking water, getting tea, making
Cherry coke.
pancakes. You know what Sharon said? That during Ramadan, I mean, when it was time to break fast, they made all of us stand in the corner while they sitting at the table eating, and we could smell the food, good smelling food, the aroma and stuff, and we standing there looking out the corner of our eyes while they're enjoying meals to eat. That's just what they did, you know. And like I said, going back to prayer, if you missed a beat,
Mm.
you know, you got struck for that. And then the crazy part is that while we was doing prayer before the sunrise, Lord didn't do prayer. She was in the kitchen making breakfast or washing clothes or standing there watching us. Sometimes she would interrupt the brutal punishments by saying, Musa, we gotta go. And he would get up and leave the house with her. And they'd be gone all day long. That's what they would do. What they was doing in the streets, I don't know. But they was gone all day
She
long.
played like she was in the garage.
Nope. You know why this stuff happened too? Because nobody during that trial, when we tried to tell what was going on,
Mm-hmm.
nobody didn't look at it on both sides of the spectrum. What they did is they looked at one side, because this is something else. Not to give away too much what the DA said today, that she wasn't aware. Because remember, the case has been over for a long. The trial's been
Yeah.
over for a
Mm-hmm.
long time. For like the trial been over for about 15 years. But when I was talking to her, she said, "Wait a minute." She didn't. Nobody called the police. I said no. She said, "How did it happen?" I said, "She wrote a letter." She said, "What type of letter?" I said, "She wrote some 13, 14-page letter that
Mm-hmm.
was a total of 26 pages, front to back." And she said, "Where did she mail it?" I said, "She mailed it to her social worker." She said, "How did she do that?" I said, "I don't know. She got different stories of how she mailed it." And Hannah was sitting there. He said, "I'm the one who took it to the post office." She said, "Well, in the transcripts, she states that Musa took it to the post office." Hannah was like, "No." He said, "I'm the one that was present at the home." He said, "And the way they treated all those kids." He said, because she was shocked when she said, "Wait a minute." I I'm
Mm.
telling you, it gets deep. It gets deep. She said, wait a minute. You guys was left up there. I said, was left in the snow. When they got finished raiding that house, the rooms that they raided was mostly mom and dad's room and that living room. That's what they raided. And I told her, I said, when they left that house, it was pitch dark. We didn't have no lights. We didn't have nothing to keep us warm. We was in a cold house. We didn't have no food. We had food, but you couldn't cook it. And they took her, a grown woman, out of the house in a van with Miriam, and she got to leave while we suffered some more. And she assured me, she said things shouldn't have went that way. But it's something, we got something for that one though. You know. But she said it shouldn't have went that way. I was like, that's what happened. A lot of stuff gonna be answered soon about what took place today. And that was 3 hours, 3 hour meeting. And I was like, this stuff is just what I learned. You learn more and more and more and more as you do your own research and investigate stuff. You figure out things. Even if you got to do it
Yeah.
on your own.
And that's what we've been doing,
Yep.
going online, doing this. You've been calling places. I've been on a couple calls with you and
Yeah.
calling some places.
Yep. A
It's just
lot of
like
calls.
other stuff that you were doing out there, and I
Writing
was
letters.
researching here. Yeah, letters.
All
I mean, a
types of
lot of
stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
Going to the actual place. You mentioned something last night where you said this detective mentioned Zirko,
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that when you entered into the house, he said something about the door to the right or the left. He
Mm-hmm.
said it was something that you
What did he
mentioned.
say? He said something about being locked, or what did he? Yeah, he said that you couldn't get out of the only way to get out of the garage to go from outside. You couldn't go from the inside, but that's not true. There was a door like from the house going to the house and going to the garage. What wasn't the garage, was a room.
It was
He's
sealed.
but he said that he said that you had to go on the outside the other way or something. He said, I'm not quite sure.
He lying. He's lying. When you
Because
sent
from
me that
what
clip last night, I literally
mhm.
rolled up out the bed, almost hit the floor. I was like, what the heck is he talking about?
Because the more when
This
you like
this
when we go back and you look at a lot of those videos with her in it and with him and Dr. Fisher on them other shows, and from us doing the research, plus you already know yourself because you were right up there. But for me, um, looking at a lot of that stuff and putting it together, I'm like, that's not what happened. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Because now we have the actual, some evidence. We have almost everything, but he's talking like, yo, that's not what happened at all.
like the district attorney mentioned to me today, we was the evidence, all of us in that case, and she was just a witness
Yeah,
to everything that happened to all of us. And like
yeah,
Hannah asked
yeah.
her, but how do you go and you say that everything that happened to these kids happened to you? She said, well, I mean, you guys got to answer that question for yourself. She said, which I think you've already answered. She said, if she's out there lying to the media, she's going to be liable to lie about anything. She'll lie about any scenario. She'll lie on anybody. That's why I said at this point in all of our lives, we went on the Dr. Phil show and she sat there and we all tried to get her to tell the truth. And all she did was made a mockery out of all of us and made fun of all of us. It's very dangerous for any of us to ever talk to her or even be in her presence.
You
And
just
her
don't know what she's
kids.
gonna do. Yeah,
Her kids. It's just dangerous. It's dangerous to
and it's
be
funny. Like I said,
in
they
her
were still
presence.
they still sleeping on the floor. But anyway, that's another story.
That's the weird part. You complained about sleeping on the floor, and you still sleeping on the floor.
Trying
Whose
to
fault
play,
is it?
yeah, trying to play like Musa,
Whose
man.
fault
You
is it
sleep on the
now?
floor. Yeah,
Yep. Whose fault is it now? But like I said, a typical 30 days of Ramadan in our home was consisted beating, starvation, torture, and threats, while we all, as children, paid the heavy price of being punished for nothing. I mean, that's what it was. It was for nothing. It was for
Yep.
nothing. Because if I sat here and told what did we do, then I would still be looking like a victim to this stuff. We didn't do anything.
Nope.
You know, we didn't do anything. We was just told that you did this wrong or you did that wrong. You made a noise and I told you not to make no noise, or you rolled your eyes, or you talked back, you looked at me the wrong way, or you didn't recite that verse right, you didn't get up for prayer in time, or you stole some bread from Laura. She had 6 pieces of bread. You stole 2 pieces of her bread. That's the type of stuff we was being told. That's the type of stuff. Now, Ramadan in Islam is a 30-day fast, a sacred month in which the Muslims they observe to 29 to 30 days from dawn to sunset. During this time, you sustain yourself from food and drinks. You also, you're not supposed to be getting intoxicated, or you're not supposed to be having any type of sexual activity. And Ramadan promotes self-discipline, spiritual growth, gratitude. But guess what? Never did I see any of that stuff. I never saw any self-discipline from Dad, his behavior, the way he acted, Laura. I never saw no spiritual growth. They didn't have no gratitude for nothing. They was just mean, cruel, selfish individuals. I never saw any of that. I never saw them practice any of those acts. Not at all. All I saw was meanness, hatred, heard foul language, and all the children, Musa's children, and my mom's children, we all was mistreated. That's all I saw. And Ramadan has expectations for those who are, there's expectations for people that are pregnant or sick. During this time, you can't fast, but you can give in charity. You know, you help another family if you can't fast. And pregnant women not supposed to be fasting because your child got to get nourishment, so they're not supposed to fast. I never saw those guys again fast. They just stayed gone in the street. I just felt like during the month of Ramadan, they just placed us in the punishment zone of using Ramadan again as a cult to control everybody, which they did. So there's a couple keynotes, aspects of fasting. Muslims fast just before sunrise. Fajr prayer starts until sunset. You have Maghrib prayer. Abstain from food, drinks, and water, smoking, and sexual relations.
But hold up, Dad didn't stop. He still was
No.
smoking. He was a smoker.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a smoker. Yeah. He didn't even try to stop smoking. He just, the dude will run through a whole pack of cigarettes. Got to go buy another pack. So our daily routines began with a pre-dawn meal, which we barely got. And when we did get it, guess what? We all either got a palm of rice. Look at my hand.
Mm-hmm.
We got a here go my palm right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got, look at this. Here go my palm right here, right? And we got like a little palm of rice in our hand, like this. That's what we got. That's how much food they gave us in our hand. That's what they gave us. So that's how our morning routine began. But, you know, with the palm of rice, or we got a slice of fruit or a piece of bread. Laura would have a full meal, pancakes, sausage, eggs, whatever she wanted. while we was deprived of a full meal. And throughout the day, we all stood on prayer rugs in the corner or on our knees praying.
Mm,
And at
mm,
some
mm.
point, like I said, I knew God didn't want us to suffer this way because I felt it. I felt it. But we all was children and could not stop him and the other adults who participated in the cruelness as well. And I knew something was wrong. As a young teenager, I knew that it was not normal. They made us think it was normal. They had us thinking we had to be perfect. Like dad taught us that he wanted perfection. If it was not perfection, that you're gonna die by the sword. He said, I want perfection. I want the ranks tight. I want them closed. Prayer
Didn't Laura
rugs have to be
didn't
perfect.
Laura steal that? Somebody stole that and put it in the article because we was
Yeah.
talking about that and we looked to our article like, yo, they heard us up
They
here
put they
talking.
put the iron fist and die by the sword.
Yeah,
They
in
put
the
those
ranks.
in there.
Yeah,
Cause she told them that. That's why. She told them that. And they put that in articles. Like I said, nothing but rage during the month of Ramadan from him. A bunch of havoc. He created havoc. She created havoc. He just was a monster. It was nothing never gentle about him. He just was like a madman all the time. All the time. And I'm like, that's not how you practice, Ramadan, you know, and and children aren't even supposed to fast. And you're not, it's in the Quran, and I've read it. Children, they're not supposed to fast. And it's a lot of reasons why children aren't supposed to fast because they got growing bodies and they have to get their nutrition. Dad testified when we was in court one time when they cross-examined him. He testified in 2009 that when he was asked by his attorney, did he make his children fast? He lied and said no. He stated Sharon wanted to fast on her own, but he did not make her do it.
yeah,
He
right.
lied to cover up the torture. That's what he did. Because, trust me, as bad as all of us wanted to eat, why would we want to fast? I'm sitting up there, I'm like, huh? Why would we want to fast? We wanted some of them pancakes.
That Laura had
We wanted some of them
sausage and stuff.
pancakes
Yeah, and some
and the
eggs.
sausage and stuff. Even if it was pork,
He was
you
hungry.
know,
Yeah,
we wanted that. I was like, that's a big lie from starving kids that's stealing food, so called
that was
stealing
eating
food.
pork too with Laura.
Yeah, the ham sandwiches.
Yeah,
When I was looking at this video yesterday where Marcus was talking about how they went to the movies all the time, I said that, and Marcus was talking about how they went to the movies all the time. He would take them to the movies and they would eat popcorn and sodas, and I start saying, yeah, and them ham sandwiches too. Eat that ham. The swine is divine.
I tell you.
So I was like, Sharon wouldn't do nothing like that. Just go fast on her own. That still didn't cover all the stuff that was done. Look,
We
somebody,
talking about years. We not
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
no 4 months or 3 2 some years. We talking about the time he was born.
He covered that up, and he used Ramadan to do that. And he lied too because he was strict when it came to Ramadan. He made every last one of us fast without eating. All his kids, he made us fast without eating meals. And when the sun set, we still didn't get no meals. We went for 3 to 4 days without a meal. Sometimes a whole week we didn't eat. He only allowed us, like I said, to drink water. And he was very aware of kids in the house being malnutrition, because he would say, Marva, they look like they dying. They look like they dead. What's going on with them?
Mm.
And then he stated a few times, in our home, he said, I'm leaving the house. If the police show up or they come by the house and they see all of this mess and this situation, you tell them your mom is starving you. And I was like thinking to myself, he setting our mother up.
Just give me a second. You can keep talking.
Yeah, that he's setting her up. I was like, that's a darn shame. A shame. Because me and Salima were not at home, meaning him and Laura. They're not at home. So you can just tell them that, this is all your mom's doing. She's doing all of this. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. They wanted the blame to be put on mom during Ramadan. And like I said, it was bad. Children was falling out on the floor. We was weak from not eating. Couldn't get up, you know.
Mm.
Even at some point, we've never talked about this. Some kids was experiencing hallucinations. I know I did, where I thought I saw food. I thought I actually was seeing food. Or I thought I heard him say we could eat, because that's how bad it was. Go to sleep crying that night and dreaming about food. And I'm just like, it just got to a point where he was doing that so much that one night Marcus one one night Marcus this is funny right here. It's funny because one night Marcus went in the kitchen during Ramadan to get all of us some food, like like the Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah.
I could hear the music playing. He ran up in the kitchen, told all of us to be on standby. Marcus had us watching so he wouldn't
Mm.
get caught. He ran across the hallway to the kitchen, got the Tony the Tiger cereal, Marlon's favorite,
Mm. Mm.
and the
Mm.
milk, and we ate all of it. But the next night, Marcus went to get food. Dad came out the room, walking down the hallway to Laura's bedroom, knocking on her door to let him in. So the whole time
Wow.
she was in the kitchen, boy, all of us was scared. I was like, dang, Marcus was stuck under the dining room table hiding. And Laura saw him run from under the table because she said she got scared. She said she saw some feet. She went running. She went running. She went running to Dad's room, talking about she saw some feet under the table. But Marcus had took off by then.
That's
He said she
crazy.
saw some feet. So Dad came back in there talking, ain't nobody gonna tell. All of us get up, stand in the corner all night. And he said, all of y'all gonna stand there until y'all tell, what happened, who did what. But see, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Enabling, abuse and telling. And like Keisha had mentioned on Dr. Phil's show, is that she lied because when she first came in our home, she saw what was going on. And she didn't go get no help. She didn't say anything. She just went along with it. So what happened? What happened?
Wow.
You know, that's
Keisha, Keisha, she the oldest.
yep.
Let me stop.
Yep.
That's an inside.
And we all know it.
Yeah.
You and Keisha, y'all like twins.
Yeah. When we like what 9 months
9 months
apart?
apart. Yeah, y'all
Mm-hmm.
like twins. All of us got a twin.
Yeah.
We're all like twins because going down,
We're all stair
with all of our
steppers, and we're
ages, all
like
of us is like what, 9,
9 months
11
apart.
months apart. Some of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yep. Like Nikosi and Chikosi twins.
Yeah, the twins, yeah. But that's funny, Marcus, sneaking into the kitchen.
That was crazy.
But it's crazy that you have to like sneak to get some food. Dad was just bugging. Straight crazy.
Just weird, huh?
Yeah.
Especially during the month of Ramadan.
Hmm.
That's a month where, you know, you're supposed to change a lot of things about yourself and your behavior, and certain things you're supposed to change, and you're supposed to make amends with God and not do certain stuff. And I didn't see any of that. I didn't
Mm.
see any of that at all. I'm just like, no, I didn't see any of that. I just saw a lot of jealousy. I saw a lot of manipulation, a lot of scare tactics going on, a lot of controlling going on, a lot of people, meaning the adults, going at it. Especially every time you look around to get some attention, them two was arguing. They was arguing, and it was they was arguing about petty stuff. Petty stuff. She was arguing with dad about dad looking at another woman in the grocery store.
Mm.
Ain't that crazy?
She 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 had a husband,
I'm
right?
like,
It's the way she had a
look.
husband.
Here's the saying: you lose them how you got them.
Yeah.
Yep, you
Yeah.
lose them how you got them. Plus, why you worrying about him looking at another woman in the grocery store? That's our mother's problem to worry about. You had a husband. You had a husband already.
Yeah. He was locked up, but you had one.
Yeah, you had a husband already. So why was you worried about him looking at another lady in the grocery store? Like,
But
just
that movie, like I'm gonna
ridiculous.
say that, like I'm saying again, that movie was trash.
She sure was.
It's far from the truth. It ain't even. It's they just that's
Foul.
made up stuff. That
Yeah,
movie was trash.
it's foul. I don't want no dealings with it at all.
Mm-mm.
And I'm gonna keep saying it was trash. Laura think it was trash because she said it. She said they put a lot of stuff in it. They put a lot of stuff in it that wasn't supposed to be in there. And she said she don't know why they made that movie like that. And so when
She
Tracy
know
Potts
why.
asked her, what did you want them to put in it? She said, I wanted them to put more abuse in it, things that happen to the kids. See? That's not your story to tell, though.
And why would you want to do that?
She wanted to
Disgusting.
do it because she felt like that, hey, I'm the ruler and controller of her. And like you said, she's not the spokesperson of this family.
Not. Yep. Definitely
We don't
not.
speak for none of us. We can speak for ourselves or for each other.
Yep.
We don't need you. Never did. Never did. None of us never needed you. So I don't know why she feel like that she needs to speak on all of our behalfs all the time. You know. And
They're
so
always
just
saying the
from
kids this, the kids that. I'm like, come on now.
yep. She didn't care nothing about the kids. Nothing. Not even her own kids. And I don't care what nobody say. I lived in the house. I don't care what her kids say. She didn't care about her kids. She's selfish. Very selfish. You know. That's why I say, I don't know how many friends she's had in her life, but I would hate to be her friend just by me knowing her, growing up and knowing her. I would hate to be her friend.
Hmm.
I would hate to be. But like I said, today was a great day.
And today was a good day. When you gave me that information, I was like,
Yeah,
yes.
today was a great day. A great
Yes.
day. Yes, a great day. Yep. We got a lot of accolades today for everything that we've been doing.
Yeah. We've been
Everything.
we just been doing our research and just going out there and asking questions, speaking with the DA and all that. So
Yep. Yeah, like you said, you gotta open up your mouth. Closed mouth don't get fed.
that's right.
You got to. And don't be afraid. I was told today,
Hmm.
and so to all of our siblings that's watching, or if you watch this video later, and also to a lot of victims that have been through, you know, the things that we've been through, you're not alone, and don't be afraid to speak. That's what I was told today. Don't be afraid. You don't have to be afraid no more. You don't, you know, because your voice is very powerful. And, I just believe that this lady didn't want none of us to use our voices. I think that was her number one fear, that this was going to catch up with her, because in 2015, when we was on the Dr. Phil show and Mike was talking,
Hmm.
Mike was very compassionate and he was serious when he sat there, because I could feel it. He was like, we might have been kids, but we heard a lot of things in the home that you guys thought that we didn't hear and that we didn't know. Like, we heard talks of her wanting our dad to get rid of our mother. And this was something that went on all the time. And like Marcus said, you concocted this scheme because you was jealous. And she was.
She went out
She
there,
was
did a
jealous.
whole
And
movie,
that's why,
did a whole movie with Lifetime.
yeah. And that's why she sat there, because it came out when Mike said that. She said, be quiet. If you guys watch the Dr. Phil show, I caught it in that clip on TikTok where she said, be quiet. And that angered him. He said, you be quiet. You be quiet. It's our time. You've been out there speaking everywhere. It's our time. And she have. No, they're speaking everywhere. And that was her fear sitting there after I saw the clip. She never thought that none of us had a voice, that none of us was going to say anything. That's what she thought. We don't need permission from you to speak. Like she told Mike, then speak. None of us need permission from her to speak. We're all adults, and the stuff that you was doing in that home and the stuff that you think you could continue to do with the media, we're going to keep speaking about it. I hope that you made enough money in the lifetime that you had of using every last one of us. And I pray, and this is a prayer for real, because this is what I pray about. I pray that God don't allow her to make any more money. And I pray that she tells the truth about what she did. Just like I spoke about our father, is that the only thing I got when I spoke at that hearing is that God saves his soul, and that he comes to the realization that he needs to take all of those classes so that he can realize in his head all the things he did wrong. He realizes it, but I don't think he cares.
Nah, he don't
Plus,
care.
I know that he don't believe that he was right for the way he treated us, because he was taught right. He came from good parents. And to the person that
They
made the
look,
comment,
they raised me, so
yeah, yeah. And to the person that made the comment, I think maybe about 3 weeks ago, she made a comment that her grandparents looked out for her. And so I made a comment back. Look, both sides of our families, my father's side and our mother's side, they said something, they saw stuff, they did something about it, they said something. They welcomed all of us into their home. My brother Marcus left and went 3,000 miles from California home, left home, and went. Nobody knew where he was at. And he knocked on our father's parents' door, who's our grandparents. And they opened up that door and let him in.
Yeah.
That's what they did. Hannah. Oh, never mind. They didn't, tell him to go away, that they weren't going to help. No, they opened up the door and they let him in. And it was the same for my mom's side of the family, but especially our dad's side of the family. And I don't care what nobody say. Our grandparents was hard workers, and I'm going to keep saying it. They was hard workers. They did the best they could, and they instilled right from wrong in our father. And what he did, he's accountable for his own sins that he committed. They can't bear the burdens of what he did. He was a grown adult. He made his own choices. So, the person that made that comment, we're not, this is a platform that we're talking about our personal lives and stuff that we went through. This has nothing to do with extended family and all of that. And they're not to blame. And a lot of people need to let all the hurt and the pain and the animosity out and just speak for really what it is, because that's just what it is. That's just the facts, and it's true. So,
all right.
I know I called.
No, go finish what you're gonna say.
I know I called our grandmother all the time, and she picked up the phone all the time.
Yeah, she sure did, because she would tell me,
All
spoke to
the
your
time.
sister, spoke to your
Yep.
sister, your brother, whatever. Mm-hmm.
And when I would talk to her, she'd tell me about Marlon. She called her. Sharon called her. Marcus called her. I spoke on a two-way with Keisha and Tiffany and Sharon. So she picked up the phone for all of us, even when we was going through this stuff when we were young teenagers. We picked up the phone and called her, and she walked us through some stuff. So, and to be that far away, and to be a senior citizen, and you're able to pick up a phone, you're able to call and somebody pick up the phone to give you some encouragement. They was there. So they did look out for us. He chose to alienate all of us from our family. That's what he did. And you'll learn a lot. If you go to counseling, you'll learn a lot of stuff that you thought you knew. And going to counseling, it's not just sad and crying and all that. It's a happy time because you discover stuff. You find out different coping mechanisms and stuff that help you throughout your life. It's helped me get by. So I encourage it to anybody that need counseling. Yeah, go get you some counseling to clear your head. And like I said, counseling is probably not for everybody. You probably got your own way that you get counseling. Talking to a pastor, talking to a family, talking to family friend, doing some yoga, Zumba. I do Zumba, me and my daughter. And so it's a lot of things that you can do to relieve stress and anxiety. And so I know we've been up here for a while.
Yeah, we've been up here for like hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're ready to close.
Yeah, we can get there. We can get there because we're near the end right now.
Right. So in closing, I wanted to say that the only reason we all are well and alive is because of God. And I still can't imagine how we all survived this whole ordeal. All of us, all 13 of us. I don't know how we survived, a childhood like this and the upbringing that we had. People have asked us, do we thank Laura? And the answer to that question is a capital N-O. No, I don't thank her. And I'll never thank her. My thanks is to God. And my thanks is to God. And it's going to continue to be that way forever till I'm no longer here on earth. And the reason why is because I don't think Laura did this stuff to help us out. And I know that the stuff that she has said that happened to her because I lived in the home, it did not happen to her. I will not be giving her 1 ounce of grace ever, ever, because what you did is taunting me and my siblings in the media and trying to make us relive the trauma over and over again by lying, using us, taking digs at us, calling names, trying to reach out to our families and stuff. I don't know what your problem is. I just don't know. And I'm not giving you 1 ounce of grace if you're watching, ever. And I mean that. My memory of her is foul because of the things she did. And the aftermath showed me her clear, true colors of how she has continued to plot and plan and falsely use different types of scenarios that happen to all of us to create a narrative of herself that came from the pain of children. And like I said before, my prayer to God has always been to open the doors up to revealing to society who she really is. So I just ask the audience, as you continue to go on this journey with us, like you did last year, to open up your minds, you know.
Because like I said before, we have a lot of information. We're really gonna dive into it now because we got access to a lot of stuff now that
Yeah.
we was fighting for last year,
Yep.
which should have been given to us years ago.
Yeah.
But just watch all our
Took a
videos.
fight. It took a
Yeah,
fight to get it.
it really did.
And sometimes that happens in life. It shouldn't have took this long, but it did. And I thank God, you know. I thank you too, Richard, because
Yeah, I told you from me. I said, look, this
yep,
channel is for
we
us to get up and talk
yeah,
about it. And every time you came to me and said, Rick, I
yep,
want to talk about this, I said, cool, let's do it.
yeah,
Hey, because I feel like it's exposing her, it's just getting the truth out there. Every time you came to me, I said, yeah, we can do this, we can talk about this,
yep,
we can do this, and we did it.
yep.
Mm.
I also wanted to stress this to everybody that Musa and Laura was some hellhounds in that house. Both of them, they was very vicious, like Doberman pinchers, and with red eyes, waiting for us to screw up, so they could just take bites out of all of us. And I say that because that's how they acted. That's how they was. And another thing that I don't like is that I don't like that she went to Sharon's page, she went to Tiffany's page, Laura went to Sharon's page, Tiffany's page, Lakeisha's page, Marlon and Michael's page on their social media pages, messaging them with our families that we post, just being creepy and creeping around. Going on Marcus' TikTok page, Marcus has a daughter. Going on his TikTok page, viewing his page, you know, um, of his family, going on my page, asking me questions about myself and my family and asking about my daughter, get this through your head. We're not blood related, Laura. You're not a part of this family. And I hope you're glad not to be, because I'm glad you're not. I'm saying this because it's giving me predator vibes. When you go onto my Facebook page, knowing all the stuff that you did to all of us, and you asked me about my 5-year-old daughter, what's her name? And if you thought I was going to give you any information about my daughter, that wasn't going to happen. We're not related to you, excluding Taz. That's a given that we're all related to her, but we don't owe you anything, nor do any of our children and our nieces and nephews. They don't owe you anything. You have no business being in their lives, not even in our spouses' lives. You have no business, period. Period. And that kind of rattled me that she did that.
Hmm. Yeah.
So when you told people we was ratting you out and you called us all these names and stuff, but yet you want to come to our pages. It's like she's yearning for our family, like she got an obsession with us. Like she got fit in somewhere. And I don't appreciate her making herself welcome where she ain't wanted. Our children and our nieces and nephews, they're off limits. They don't have no part in this. And I don't understand, why do you want to know any information on my kids or anybody else's kids in this family? You need to leave us alone and let us speak. You put this false story out there and we're cleaning it up. We got a right to. I just don't like how she came for our family up there snooping around on people's Facebook pages trying to invite herself in our lives by asking questions about people. And Musa was not married to you. None of us is related to Laura, exempting Taz.
Yeah.
This ain't McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken.
And the DA people talked today. They said, well, they believe they was having an affair. So
Yeah,
man, I'm telling you, man, y'all just don't know. It's like it's deep. It's some stuff.
it's crazy. It's
I'm
crazy.
telling you,
I
what
wish it
Crystal,
was a dream.
me too. What Crystal showed me today, y'all, I was like, oh my god, I don't even
Yeah,
want to. Let's wait. The next episode, I'm telling you, it's gonna be off the chain.
crazy.
But I still want to get to the Musa story though, about Musa though,
Yeah, we're gonna get
because
to that.
he a character,
Like I
man.
said, this ain't McDonald's. We ain't buying the Arch Burgers. This ain't McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken. We ain't food. We don't come with the package deal. Each of us is sold separately without the pancake batter. And this is not a cheating deal. You know?
Yeah,
You buy one and you get the other one free. We not for sale. So,
man.
like I said, what an amazing day.
This day was a good day.
Yeah.
Just
It's
like
unbelievable.
I feel relieved. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I really do. I mean, I just do.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get into it next week. We're gonna go more into it a little bit. Me and Chris are gonna get together. We're gonna discuss it. We're gonna get into it. So thank everybody for following this page. If you're watching,
Yeah.
share, subscribe, go back to other videos, click on, just leave comments because we like that.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah. And
we
plus, I
do.
want to mention this too.
Yeah.
We'll have our Amazon store up
Okay, cool.
soon, so that way we can connect that
Okay.
with
We're
all
gonna,
our t-shirts and
yeah.
everything. So we'll have that set up soon. Just been
Yep. So
busy working, so
yeah.
that's something
So
on the list that we're working on.
yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the works. Stuff we've been doing that we're working on this year. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's a good day. That's all I can say.
yeah, it is.
It's a good day. Good day. But yeah, got anything you want to say before we end this?
Nope, I think that's it. I
That's
think we
it.
did some
All right.
damage here.
Yeah, it's just yeah, we did. We did. We did. I can't wait till next week. But anyway, I want to keep talking about it. I may end up saying something. So
Yeah.
thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day, great week, all that good stuff. We'll be back.
Good night, everybody.